Welcome back to the video, guys. In this video I'm going to show you how to configure AWS command line interface and how to deploy the sample application with the help of the AWS Amplify. Before moving into the AWS Amplify, let's take an example how we can develop a full stack application with the help of the traditional way. If you want to develop a full stack application, we need a front end, back end, and we need authentication for the both to avoid from the unauthorized access, and we need a database and storage to access and or retrieve the data, and also we need other services like notification services, AI services like that. Instead of a traditional way, if you use a AWS Amplify to develop a full stack application, it will take care of everything. So, like the user interact with the application through the web browser, and the AWS Route 53 will manage the domain name system. So to resolve the domain name to the appropriate resources, and the Amazon AWS Cognito Identity, it will help to handle the user authentication and the identity management. So it is enable the secure login functionalities. So with the web application to authenticate the user and provide the session tokens for the secure API access, and the AWS CloudFront. It is for the it act as a content delivery network to deliver the web application static files. Example like HTML file, CSS file, or JS file. So it is stored in the S3 bucket, in the Amazon S3 bucket. So the Amazon S3 bucket, it's a static web file such as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and media assets like images, videos like that. So these files are delivered to the user via CloudFront for the high performance. So and the next, the AWS API gateway. So it will provide the REST API endpoint for the front end to communicate with the backend logic. Uh, it acts as a entry point for the request to the serverless backend, and the AWS Lambda. So the AWS Lambda function execute the backend logic in your serverless environment. So it's a process of incoming API request, performance operations, and interact with the database. So lastly, AWS DynamoDB. So the AWS Amplify will assign a AWS DynamoDB for the storage purpose. So a NoSQL database used to store the application's dynamic data like user information, application data, or transactional records like that. So Lambda function interact with the functions with the database to perform the CRUD operation. Now let's install and configure the AWS Amplify. So in the VS Code, open terminal. So in your terminal, take a AWS license. Firstly, use the command sudo apt update sudo to check the any updates. So enter the password. for your WSL. So firstly, we need to install Amplify command line interface to communicate with the to or to interact with the AWS Amplify. For that, you need to install the Node.js first, because the AWS Amplify CLI is a Node.js based tool to initialize or configure and manage the Amplify projects. So give the command sudo apt install Node.js. Give yes. After that, you need to install npm sudo apt install npm. So because amplifier and its libraries are distributed as npm package, for that we need to install the npm first. After installing, check the version of the Node.js and the npm. So firstly, node v. So here you can see v18.9.19.1. This is the version of Node.js, and npm hyphen version. Here you can see 9.2.0 is the version of npm. So after all this, you need to install the AWS Amplify command line interface. So give the command sudo npm install -g. The right AWS Amplify /CLI. Here you can see the installing process has been started. So it will take some time to install. So wait for till the installation process done. After installation, check the version of the Amplify with the help of the command amplify version. Here you can see Amplify has been installed successfully. So this is the version of the Amplify, that is 12.13.1. So these are the command we can use for the use within the Amplify CLI. So after that, give the command sudo sorry amplify init. So this command is used to initialize a new AWS Amplify project in your application. It will set up a backend environment for your application, and also it will create necessary configuration files and connect the local project to the AWS Amplify service. So run this command. So it is asking, do you want to continue with Amplify generation 1? Give yes. So prefer not to answer. After that, we need to enter the name of the project which we are going to start. So I am giving Amplify. After entering the Amplify project name, so initialize the project with the above configuration. Give yes. So after we need to enter the AWS profiles access key and the secret key. For that, you need to go to your AWS account. You need to create a IAM user. In the search bar, type IAM. After entering into the IAM, go to the users. Here you need to create a new user. Create user. Give a proper name for the user. Amplify user. Click next. So here you need to attach some policies to access the AWS account or AWS Amplify. For that, go to attach policies directly. Here, search for Amplify. So select the administrator access Amplify, and also Amplify backend apply full access, and click next. Here you can see the user has been created successfully. Go to that user. Here you need to create access key. For that, go to create access key. Here you are going to use the AWS service with the help of the CLI. For that, select the command line interface and check this option. Click next. So give a description for the user. Amplify user. Create access key. Here you can see access key created successfully. So copy this access key, save that into your local machine, or you can download the file. And also copy the secret access key. Click done. So after that, go to your VS Code. So here you need to enter the access key. So paste the access key which you have copied. Hit enter. After that, you need to enter the secret access key. Paste the secret access key which you have copied. Select the region which you want to create or use the AWS Amplify. So before selecting, make sure which region you want. Here I'm selecting EU North one, that is Stockholm region. Here you can see it is adding the backend environment for the to the AWS Amplify application. So for that, it asking help improve Amplify CLI by sharing non-sensitive project configuration on failure. So click now. So this process will configure the necessary configuration file and connect the local project to the AWS Amplify services. So here you can see initialized provider successfully. After that, go to your AWS Amplify. So here you can see my Amplify project has been created successfully. So enter this file. So here go to branch. So here we need to deploy the front end part. For that, get started. So here you can access the front end part with the version control tools like GitHub, Bitbucket, Code Commit, or GitLab, or you can access from your local machine also. So here I am going to select the deploy without Git. Click next. Here you need to upload the zip file of the index file. That is front end file. So choose the zip folder. So this is the front end part of my zip file. So select this file and open it. Save and deploy. Go to branches. So here the domain name. Click on that to see the application to see the front end part which you have deployed. This is the front end part which I have deployed now. So after that, go to backend part. So click on the dev. So here here you can see the Amplify project deployed status completed, create complete, and the create in progress. So Amplify backend deployment is initiated. Go to API. Here you can use this command to add the API to for your front end project. So copy this command. Go to your VS Code. So paste that command and hit enter. Now it is asking for the API selection, so I am choosing REST. So here it is asking a friendly name for your project. So select the name, enter the proper name, giving my Amplify API, hit enter. So we need to provide a name for the AWS Lambda function. My Amplify Lambda, hit enter. So here it is asking choose the runtime that you want to use. So here I'm selecting Node.js. So it is asking for running the hello world. Hit enter. So do you want to configure advanced setting? Click no. So it is asking do you want to edit the local lambda function? Click no. And here you can see the successfully added resources is my amplify lambda locally, and successfully added the lambda function locally also. So after it is asking the restrict API access. Click no. Do you want another path? No. Here you can see the API has been created successfully. That is my amplify API, and also the function, the lambda function, my amplify lambda function has been created successfully. So after it is asking amplify push. So give the command amplify push command. So this amplify push command is used in AWS Amplify to deploy the local changes made to your backend resources such as authentication, databases, storage, or APIs. So to the cloud. So it syncs the local environment with the AWS cloud infrastructure. So it is asking creating the functions for the my amplify lambda and the API my amplify API. So click yes. Here you can see it's deploying step by step. Firstly, deploying root stack my amplify project. and deploying function my amplify lambda, and also deploying the API my amplify API. So the AWS Amplify will take care of everything, or no need to worry about this. All this to do the manual process. So you no need to create a Lambda function or APIs manually. The AWS Lambda, the AWS Amplify will take care of everything. So after here you can see the deployment state saved successfully. After that, go to your AWS console. Here, go to Lambda. Here, go to function. Here you can see my amplify lambda function has been created successfully. So like that, go to your API API gateway. Here in the API gateway, you can see my amplify API has been created successfully for your application. So this is how you can deploy your application with the help of the AWS Amplify. So the AWS Amplify will take care of everything, like creating a API or creating a S3 bucket or creating a authentication for your application